Join me every Thursday night at 6:30. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this is a podcast that actually talks about everything above the five senses, a little psychic stuff, a little astrology, a little predictions. We also talk a lot about philosophy and spirituality. So join us in the soul space every Thursday night at 6:30. So for those of you who are just tuning in, because I'm not in the studio at Gov's Comedy Club, I have to share the show online, and I have to get online so that I can see your comments and see who's out there. So there's always a little bit of housekeeping to do in the first few minutes of the show, which I do apologize for. However, once I'm back in the studio, we won't be doing that anymore. So I hope everybody had a great week. I felt today like the energy was very speeded up. It's like we're going 100 miles an hour. I think that's because Mars is coming out of retrograde, and excuse me, and we're also right on the eve, on the crest of a new moon coming in Scorpio. So there's a lot of really intense energy coming in, and I think it's making me feel a little speeded up, a little bit like the world is moving at a faster pace, but it's all good stuff. I think we're doing all good, except of course for that amazing COVID spike that we've been having. That is a little concerning, and we're going to talk about that on the show tonight. Also going to talk about where the astrology is, and I'm going to pull some cards for everybody. So if you're online and just in the comments, ask for a card. We'll get to you, and I'll be doing all of that tonight in our next hour I get to spend with you. So let me just share the show. I see I'm online now. I can see where I am. It takes me a little while. There's a delay on the show on the computer. I have Marianne and Sarah, Janine, Monica. How's everybody doing tonight? Quite a few people out there. I am going to share and share away. So I'd love to hear your comments about how your week is going, how you're feeling this energy is. And I would also love to hear any stories that you guys have to tell me about signs that you may have had from the other side this past week, or anything that has happened that's been, a little bit hard to explain or out of the ordinary. I would really love to hear about that. So just going to finish sharing this, and then I'm going to come right back to my friends. There we are. Sorry this takes so long every week. I spoke to Sally, my engineer, and she says that I should be back in the studio pretty quickly. So they're doing some renovations over there. I can't wait to get back in. I can have my guests again and my live call-in show and all that stuff that I've been missing almost for this whole year. As you can see, I haven't even wanted to go to the salon and get a haircut. So, so I've been laying pretty low. So these new restrictions that we have here in New York aren't really taking me by surprise so much. So I'd love to see, if you just want to put something in the comments, I would love to see how the week's been going for you guys, and if anything really strange has been happening. Because we all know everything above the five senses happens when it happens. Hi, Christine. How are you? So I want to talk about what's going on with the astrology a little bit, and then I want to talk about how it's affecting us in our personal life. But first, I'd like to talk to all of you guys about this COVID spike, because all year we've been talking about these three planets that are in Capricorn: Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. And the first time we heard about COVID-19, Jupiter and Pluto were right slapped against each other in a conjunction. And they actually had their second conjunction on April 4th, when the COVID-19 spiked, and we had across the globe the highest rates that we had was in April. And now Jupiter and Pluto are coming in and conjuncting right up against each other for the third and final time in 2020. And this is bringing in a spike in the COVID. And I truly believe this is really one of the energies of this. This time around, I don't know why, I just feel intuitively that it's going to be a little bit shorter lived than it was the last two times. I think that we will find a spike, but I think at the same time, we're going to see that spike be shorter in duration. I'm hoping and praying. So I'm just going to send that out to the universe because that's what I feel intuitively. Hi, Angelique. Sarah says, rough around the edges, to put it lightly. I guess that's in response to how the energy is this week. Yeah, I feel like a lot of things are coming to a head. A lot of the tensions and pressures and conflicts that we've had throughout this whole year, I feel like now they're kind of like coming up again in order to be reconciled. I feel this week we're going to have a lot of cathartic moments because Pluto is the planet that something has to die in order to transcend or transform. And that's what we've seen all year long, is these structures in our own personal life and out in the globe being, destructed in order to really build them anew in a better way. But I'll tell you, these next couple of weeks are going to be the time in 2020 when we kind of have to sit back and really realize what we need to do to move forward. And then once we get through these couple of weeks, we'll see that the energy changes a little bit to be more future oriented. But right now we're sweeping the porches. We're cleaning the litter box. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. It's a lot of Scorpio energy, which is also heavy with all this Capricorn Earth energy. But we will get through this. We also have some things coming in this week that are heightening the energy even more. Well, first one being today was the actual third Pluto-Jupiter conjunction. And then we also have Mars going direct, which is tomorrow and Saturday, 13th and 14th. Mars going direct is a biggie. When Mars goes direct, it's been retrograde in Aries for a very, very long time, months, as opposed to the weeks that it normally is. And when that goes direct, you're going to feel a big push. Maybe some aggression, some pushback on some things that have to move forward. The best use of that energy is use it to get your projects and works done. And then this weekend, we have a new moon in Scorpio that comes in. The new moon in Scorpio is at 22 degrees. It's a very significant master degree, a critical degree in astrology. And when that comes in, it's going to bring very deep healing, revelations. It's going to dredge a lot of things out. It's almost like, for those of you who've ever lived on a lake or a pond or a canal, sometimes the tides bring in a lot of the mud and they turn it up from the bottom. And every once in a while they have to bring a dredge in and dredge the canal, right? So that we can, actually maneuver down it. That's kind of what this Scorpio energy is like. It's going to be dredging stuff for us and dredging stuff for us. And we don't really want to look at it or see it, but it's going to enable us at the same time to find our freedom of movement. But while we're in the dredging phase, which is going to come up this weekend, it's going to get a little intense. But just remember, the reason it's happening is so that we can move forward in our lives. And all of these things happen from a wise and loving universe for us, not to us. The universe isn't doing anything to us or persecuting us or depriving us. The universe is giving us opportunities to expand our life and find the true freedom and authenticity that we're supposed to have to evolve our souls. So that's usually why these things happen. Angelique, a lot of us are feeling very tired and without energy. I myself feel a lot of energy right now, but you will also feel the opposite of that for some of us, depending on where Mars, your natal Mars, is in the chart and where Mars in transit in Aries is in your chart. When a planet starts to go direct or retrograde, in this instance, Mars is going direct. Planets never really go backwards. The retrograde means the planet slows so much that the things around them are moving faster than normal because they're slower. So it feels like it's going backwards. It's like if you pull into a parking lot and the car next to you is going backwards, suddenly you jerk and you're like, oh, am I going backwards? Because of the momentum. That's what it is when a planet goes retrograde. So when a planet starts to go forward again from its retrograde and move faster forward motion again, We call that the planet going direct, or stations to go direct. Because usually what happens is when the planet is changing its speed based on the gravitational pull of the Earth, for that few hours, moments, days, depending on the planet's orbit, we feel a gravitational pull. And that's what sometimes makes us very, very tired. So Mars going direct can almost make you feel short-circuited, as though the energy in retrograde, we got used to it being a certain way, and now that it's going to change its force field, its speed, it almost can make us feel like, oh, and deplete us. For those of us who have Mars in our chart that's being aspected by this Mars in Aries, it sometimes can give us that jolt of energy as well. So that's usually why. Christine, I'll definitely pull a card for you. And hi, Laura, how are you? So that's where we're at astrologically. Now, if I just step out of the cosmos for a minute, because I get very preoccupied with the astrology, it just happens to be an innate way that Spirit speaks to me. But of course, you all know I am a psychic intuitive, and I don't need astrology to read the energy. If I step out of the planetary pull, and I just go into the energy of the world right now to try and read what I feel is happening, I have to say, I do feel like we're in a tremendous amount of transition, obviously. But I feel like, and I often feel this way, and I really believe this way, it's my belief that what's ever going on outside in the external world is happening to mirror something that we need to internalize and bring into our life. So when the COVID-19 first started, I think that something was restrictions and depletions and deprivations in order for us to have to sit with ourselves, become more contemplative about where our life was, who we really want to show up in the world as, what do we really need, what do we really value, what can we do without. And now that we're on, the tail end of this year, we're starting to move in, especially you'll feel the next couple of weeks, the energy will start to pull in the 2021 energy. And it's going to be a very, very different energy for us. But now we're in this space of closing up the year's energy and moving towards other things. And this year has been a game changer for a lot of us, and for a lot of us not in a great way if you look at the externals around us. But if you've taken those externals and internalized them the right way, I think this year was a game changer in a really great way. And to put it short, I think what this whole year was about was establishing our own authority. And I feel like there's so much volatility, there's so much conflict, there's so much division in the world, almost to the point of overwhelm. So what does that make us do? It makes us step back and retreat into ourself. And when we do that, we're actually taking the right step. It's not that we're being hermits or isolating. It's that we're taking steps to protect our energy and now become our own authority. Why should a political party make decisions for us? Why should a ethnicity or racial label make decisions for us? Why should we be swayed by media that maybe has little merit? No, we should always be inside ourselves to find the truth of what is for us. And there's an authority in that that's our authority. And I think this year has been about unplugging, pulling the plug on a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of situations, a lot of expectations, a lot of obligations, and realizing the choices we make should support our authority in ourselves. And when we can be our own authority, I talked a lot a few weeks ago about being sovereign in our life and sovereignty. And I think that's the key of what 2020 was all about. I think a lot of these things happened so that we can step in, step aside, step into the microcosm that's us, learn to be a little bit deaf to the macrocosm, in a good way, not in a selfish way. We still want to be obviously part of a community and be of service to the world. But I think we have to step back and go into the microcosm that is us, that we are, and strengthen that and become our own authority so that we can bring the strongest and highest self to the macrocosm and the community. And I really think that's what 2020 was about. Did everyone get that? Of course not. There's always going to be lower energy in the world. It's our job, I guess you could say, or our calling as Zenkuda warriors, as warriors in general, as light workers, to step out of the critical mass and strengthen ourselves to be of service to the world in the highest way we know. And somehow I don't think we can do that by following the crowd anymore. I think that now we have to really be our own authorities in our life. So, yeah, and Janine is a perfect example of that. I know she's been doing that all year long, really just stepped out of the matrix and kind of did work on herself, and it's really been proven wonderful for her. That's good. Aaron's energized. See, but you have a strong Aries too, so that's probably why. Mercury is not in retrograde any longer, actually. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Janine. Hi, David. Right, work in progress. Yep, that's what we all are, actually, Janine. So I don't think you're the only one, because we're all a work in progress. But that's what I think the energy is right now. And so we're coming on the end of 2020, and it's going to maybe give us a push where we didn't look within and make those situations become a little bit tighter, a little bit more uncomfortable, so that we have to do our work. And one of the things I can tell you all that I know for sure is the universe is going to keep giving you the same challenge over and over and over again until you fix it and you work on it and you pull it apart and you unpack it. That's one of the things about being human. It's just a phenomenon with energy. It's a universal law. That which we do not fix or reconcile will just keep coming up and just keep coming up. So if you think you can change a challenge by ignoring it or stomping it to death or pressing it down and pretending it doesn't exist, you're in for a rude awakening. And that's what the next couple weeks is going to be about. Anything you refuse to look at in 2020 is about to rear its ugly head, because the universe wants you to take authority over it. And sometimes that means meeting our fears. Sometimes that means having a really important conversation. Sometimes that means changing our life in a big way. And sometimes that means just doing the work you've been doing. You know, I'm going to pull a card from my Grace cards now, and this is for the energy of the world, and then we will start doing some readings for you guys. Whoops. I think I may pull some cards today. They're compelling me to just do a read also for general energy, but let me pull this card first and we'll go from there. I've been doing something really cool with my normal everyday earthbound job. I am a wellness coach, and I head an education business wellness department, and I've been doing 20 days of gratitude. So since the 20 days before Thanksgiving, today's the 6th day, I've been actually just putting some gratitude out every day to my coworkers and to giving them another gratitude saying every day. And I just pulled this beautiful card, which is Vision. And I think this really does actually come into our life in the way I was just describing for 2020 and coming to the end of the year. As I said before, 2020 was a lot about giving us energy that made us want to really look at the way we show up in the world and who we show up to be. And that's where vision comes in. Because I actually just taught a class about this recently. And what the gist of it was creating a life every day, taking everyday actions to support your vision of who you want to be. And I think that's really important right now, especially with the planetary alignment that we have. We want to take our energy day to day, choice by choice, and make sure that it is in alignment with the vision of who we want to be. And the back of this card says, pay attention. There are signs, symbols, and messages divinely placed in our path to guide us in the right direction. And yesterday was 11/11. And I wrote something on the Facebook page about 11/11 coming in, and how for many of us that's a portal. You know, 11/11 is like the doors opening to infinite wisdom, to a higher power, to a different realm. And so when we see that a lot, it's usually a sign that we're on track with the higher realms. They're supporting us, or they're opening for us to have some kind of a vision or a sign from another realm. So when we see a series of ones or 11/11, it's all about our vision. And yesterday was the 11/11 portal. So on those days that 11/11 comes every year, you really want to act and have the actions and spend your day in a way that supports your vision of your desire for your life. And I did that yesterday, and it was a very powerful manifestation tool. And I think that we need to do that every day. This 11/11 yesterday was very powerful because it's 11/11/2020. So it was 11/11/22. And 22 is the master number of manifestation. So it's not too late to do that. You can still make sure that every day you are actuating in all the choices you make on a daily basis the support and the vision that supports the rest of your life. I'll give you an example. I'll give you one that's very general that we can all kind of relate to at times. Dieting, okay, is a great example. We want to lose weight, and we ask for guidance in that maybe, but then we're driving to work and we stop at Starbucks. If you really want to manifest the weight loss, the health in your life, don't stop at Starbucks. And it's not just a matter of making that choice in that moment and doing the right thing and having willpower. It's bigger than that. Because whatever your action is, when the universe sees it and feels the energy released from it, it takes that as your request for more of that. Because the universe isn't going to think that humans don't do what they want. You have a free will, so you must do what you want. So you must want to get more weight on you if you're drinking Starbucks. So you see how the choices that we actuate in our life, if they're not in alignment with our desire, that's why we don't manifest what we want. The things you do and the way you act has to be in direct alignment to that which you desire. It's just like being in a terrible relationship and telling the universe, oh, please just send me the love of my life. I can't stand this person anymore. But every day you stay in that relationship. The universe is not going to give you anything else because you're actuating that relationship. So that's what I mean when I say make sure that your vision for your future is matching what you're doing every day, right? Hi, Gina. So I'm going to go back up here. Hope you guys can't hear me wheezing on the mic. I've been wheezing since I've been wearing a mask for months, so never really wheezed like this before, but I think it's the mask wearing anyway. But I wear one. Okay, so first card is going out to... Gotta go back up. First card is going to go to Christina Pepe Camarada. Christina Pepe. Okay. I may just actually put the camera down a little bit so that you guys can actually see the table. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that actually, but yeah, no, the camera's not going to do that today. Wrong tripod, G. Okay. So, because I'm not in my downstairs studio. I had such a busy day. I'm still in my home office. Okay. So, let me pull a card for Christina. She wants an answer about work. So we're going to do that. I'm going to use my regular Rider-Waite tarot cards tonight. I feel like there's stress at your job. Like one person in particular. Okay, so the first card I picked, Christine, is this card. It is the Three of Pentacles, which usually means group. It usually means a celebration, but it also means meetings and groups and, people coming together for a common good. As you can see, it's like they're outside of a church, and someone is standing on the bench, kind of giving like a speech or preaching, and two people listening. This is very indicative of, three people gathering. 3 is a number usually of teaching. Usually when this card comes up, for me, it's something either celebratory or something that's about to happen and be announced. So I'm going to pull another card. So that would tell me good news is on its way. Some kind of good news is going to be announced. But I do feel like there's stress in your job right now, where you are right now currently, I feel like there's a male in particular that's just making things uncomfortable. Okay, I'm going to pick a second card. I got the Tower. This is a job change. This is, something being announced of a change, but it's actually good for you in the long run. You may have some disappointment at first, but it turns out okay. But I feel like the job is going to fall. The job that you're currently at, I don't think you're going to be staying there. If you do end up in the same company, it's in a different position, which will be good for you in the long run. But I think in the beginning, something definitely falls. And I feel like you already know this, and I feel like you're a little ambivalent about it. But in the long run, it's going to be fine. It's actually going to be like a blessing in disguise. Next card is for Laura. Laura, this card is for you. I feel young children around you, Laura. Let's see what I've got here. The Rider-Waite Tarot deck has been around for hundreds of years. It was used to do predictive readings for royalty at one time. This card is for Laura. Laura, I'm seeing young children around you, and for some reason I'm feeling separation of some kind and disappointment, but I feel like it's very temporary because I feel like I'm seeing family together. So I don't know if maybe because of all this COVID change for the holiday, or I don't know, but I feel like you've had a disappointment, some kind of little separation, but I think it's going to change. So just have faith on that if that's the situation. Yeah, because look at the cards I got. If this is to do with any kind of relationship or whatever, I feel like it's temporary, that it writes itself, because I have the relationship marriage card upside down, which would be cards of discord, but I feel like it's going to write itself because the other card that I got is one of the most gracious cards in the deck, and that's the Nine of Pentacles. This is someone who's, happy, well-fed, resting on their laurels, and good luck is coming to them. So when I go into your energy, I'm seeing small children. I feel a separation of some kind, a disappointment, but the cards are showing me that it's temporary. So just take that with you, Laura. If it's not you directly, I feel like it's someone around you. So that's what I feel. That's what's definitely happening. Give it time, because I feel like the energy really changes for the better. All right. David, I'm going to pick a card for you for your health. I know you had said your back was bothering you. And David, I got the Page of Cups, which means that this is news. This is good news. Usually you see the cup has a fish in it. That's kind of symbolic for your cup running over. So if you've been waiting for news about something, this is definitely news coming for you. And I feel like it's good news about your health. So, all right. I have a card for Angelique here. Hi, Terry. How are you? I'm going to pull a card for Angelique. And if you guys want to share the show, I'd really appreciate that. I'll be back in the studio probably before the end of the year. And hopefully we'll have some guests and some live call-in and all that stuff. We'll be back to normal. So this card is for Angelique. Angelique, your energy feels a little lighter to me than it's been. And I also feel like, I feel like this is a card where if you look closely, she's tied and she's kind of imprisoned, but she's not. If you look closely, she could just walk out of the swords. This is a card of delusion, the delusion of feeling not free. You feel trapped, but you're not really. You have the ultimate power. Like I was just saying in the monologue that I was doing at the beginning of the show, we all have the authority over ourselves, and you certainly do. So Angelique, step into your power and move forward, because this is definitely a card of moving forward. We all have, dis-ease and heartbreak and challenge in our life, but it's the way we handle it. So just know how strong you are, and the universe is completely behind you. I'm going to pick a card for Miss Terry, my buddy, at Babylon Breast Cancer Coalition. Terry does amazing, amazing work for everybody. Very selfless woman. So I'm going to pick a card for you, Terry, and hopefully this is a happy card for you. It is. Terry, you have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is someone who brings news. The Knight of Wands can be a fire sign male, either an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. But usually it's good news, and usually when the Knight of Wands comes in, it's usually something very quick, passionate, fiery. It's also a card of heart, of, you know, having passion for something and coming in and saving the day. So hopefully this is a card that will bring you some beautiful luck. And Aaron recently moved. I know he had a lot of trials and tribulations, but I think that you met them all pretty well. So Aaron, the card just flew out of the deck for you. The best card in the whole deck of the tarot. You got the Ace of Cups. This is new beginnings. It can be a baptism of something brand new coming into your life. It can be romantic. It can be business. It could be anything, but there's a new beginning coming in for you. This is like ultimate happiness, soulmate love, riches, whatever you're manifesting right now. Just know that this can be. As you see, it's like the beautiful bird of peace and the chalice. This is miracles. This is things happening that you really didn't expect to happen in a good way. So keep the faith and keep your thoughts positive, Mr. Aaron, because that's a great card. And follow your intuition. You know you got to follow your intuition. Next card is for Janine Gemelli. Let's see what we got for you tonight, Janine. Okay, Janine. I just shuffled these cards. I don't know, maybe Janine and Aaron just started talking. Because Janine, you just got the best card in the deck. The Ace of Cups. Just like I said to Aaron, same thing. This is new beginnings. It is romance, riches, job, family, whatever you're trying to manifest. This is to have faith. The new beginning is coming its way. Miracles are going to happen. So I can't believe I shuffled and that card came up again. Crazy stuff. Okay, Sarah, I'm going to pick a card for you. I love the card, the Ace of Cups. It's like my favorite card in the deck. When I get that card, I'm like, woohoo! Okay. This is for Sarah. Sarah, I feel joy around you. Sarah, I don't know why, but I feel like you got this card once before, and I never remember my reading, so I don't know why I feel like that. But this is recognition. This is something that you're waiting to be recognized, something, either a job well done or just appreciation from your family comes into play, and you get that recognition that you really and truly deserve. It's coming. Just sit tight, ride the horse into the victory celebration, because you've got a lot of new things happening, new growth coming in, but definitely you will have a time when you can rest on your laurels and recognition is coming. So steady the course. Keep doing what you're doing, okay? Just got to fix this a second. Okay. I have to do all this technical stuff now. I'm here by myself. Okay. Next card is for living what you want. Absolutely, Christine. Next card is for Gina. She wants to have a card about money. So let's see if Pentacles come up for you. I'm shuffling. You guys can see. I'm shuffling. Let me cut the deck. I like when you guys can see the table. You know, I'll be down in my studio tomorrow. I mean, next week. Probably do another video in between anyway, though. Okay, this is for Gina. Gina, this is a card of nostalgia. So, and look at all the cups, which is abundance. And if you notice, all the cups are filled with flowers and all kinds of great stuff. So this is a card of definite abundance. It may not be pentacles, which is coin and money, but this is just as good. It's actually also sometimes a card that tells us that sometimes people from beyond or the other side, if you have a past loved one, is actually orchestrating for what you're wishing for. So you've got help from the other side, you've got a great assist, and your cup is going to run over. So I would say that's a really good card for money. Vicky, I'm going to do this for you. Then I'm going to do Linda, okay? Yay, right? I know. That was a good read. Okay, so now, Vicky, we're going to pull a card for you. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. I just have a lot of allergies from being in the house and wearing masks and all that dryness. Okay, Vicky, this is your card. Vicky, you also got the Page of Cups. We're pulling the same cards tonight. The universe is on our side. They keep giving us the same messages. There's a Page of Cups, Vicky. And again, this is also a card of abundance. A lot of abundance coming in tonight. Not a lot of detriment, which is great. As the planets move into Aquarius, Saturn and Jupiter, they're going to bring us more abundance, more fresh air. But this is a card of communication. Pages are always communication. When I see the Page of Cups, I feel like you're going to get a communication from social media, email, text, some technological form that brings you good news. Because you can see the fish in the cup is the cup running over with abundance. You have water in the background here that it shows emotion. So you're definitely going to get some good news from some electronic platform, either email, text, something. So keep your thoughts positive, because whatever we think right now, manifestation is at an all-time high. And whatever we think right now is what we're going to get. So this is for Linda, my beautiful friend Linda, who maybe I'll see again someday. This terrible, well, I shouldn't say terrible, but these restrictions are tough. Okay, so this card is for Linda. Lovely Linda. Boy, when they lift all these restrictions and COVID really is gone, I think we're going to have one big spiritual gathering. Okay, Linda, all the cards just flew out of the deck. So this was the one. Linda, you got a great, well, tonight the cards are really great. Linda, this is, as you know, because I know you read as well, this is like really happy card. Family, union, unity, beautiful card for family. It's really a wedding card as well if anybody's getting married. But this is my card for partnership and unions and joy. So whatever you're trying to manifest, Linda, I would say it's pretty close by, because this is one of the most joyful cards in the whole tarot deck. So what a great card for you. That makes me happy. It makes me happy that we're all getting good cards tonight. Maybe the energy really is lifting. I think it is. And, oh, you're welcome, Christine. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. And the next one is Marianne. Yeah, David, I think that your health issues definitely are going to be moving away from you. So just sit tight with them. Keep your thoughts really pure. All right? This is for Marianne. Let's see what we have. Hopefully it'll be another really great abundant card. Okay. Marianne. This is a card of competition. It's like playful competition, though. It's like you have one more hurdle to go before things get really reconciled, but it's not like a big war or battle kind of cry. It's almost like a playful competition, like, almost having a contest with a good girlfriend or something like that, and in the end you win. So if there's anything that you've been wondering about or feeling competitive about, you are going to come out on top, all right? And the 9 is a number of completion. It's the 9 of Wands. 9 is a number of completion. So this is if you've been, in locked heads with someone or been in a little bit of a conflict with someone, even playfully so, it will come to completion and you will be in the dominant position. All right? I got to get a haircut. I just won't go to the salon. I know I'm like paranoid about that. This is the longest I've ever been without a haircut. Hope you ladies can all sympathize. Monica, how are you doing? I miss all my friends. I wanted to have a drum circle, and I know Monica recently got a beautiful drum. And then Cuomo said no more than 10 to a gathering. And I figured, you know what, better lay low, better safe than sorry, right? So this is for Monica. Monica, I saw the picture of your dog today. Really cute. Monica, if you have had, similar to the last card, but a little bit different, if you have had something that you've been kind of battling with somebody about, and this has been going on a really long time, I feel like you do come out the winner, but I feel like you have one more battle to win before you win the war. But you're going to win the war, baby. But if there's something that you've been battling, this is the enemy kind of throws in the towel and surrenders finally. This could also be symbolic of an inner conflict, and you finally master it. If you've been working on some kind of inner work or inner child or anything like that, you finally come to a reconciliation with it. But if you look at this card, the enemy is walking away. Their swords have been thrown down. You are the victor. So you may have one last fight, but you win the war. All right? There you go, Aaron. That's great. I'm so glad. I love it when the cards confirm stuff for us. It's so hard for me to read my own cards. I actually go to somebody for that. But, you know, yeah, the aces are so great. Hands of God. Yep, that's correct, Aaron. Very, very good. Sarah needed to hear. Having good card reads tonight. This is great because the energy's changing a little bit. This whole year has been so much earth energy and it's been so dense. We're going to start to go towards air. And that's going to just breathe life into everything for us. So if we can hold on to just a little bit of optimism, you know, things are going to get heavy the next few weeks, next I'd say 5 to 10 days, and then they'll start to clear out. We also have eclipses at the end of this month, which completely will change the energy. So just know that good stuff is coming. Ash Carey, love that name. This is for you, Ash. I'm going to pull a card for you. And if anybody has any other questions besides cards for me, I'd love to weigh in on any kind of spirituality or anything in particular that you would love to have an answer to, anything above the 5 senses. Ash, this is a card for you. Ah, Ash, you need to spend time in quiet repose. This is the 6 of Swords, and basically what, the 4 of Swords. And basically what the 4 of Swords means is it's a card that wants us to stay quiet. It's this person is not dying or dead. A lot of people misread the card that way. He's actually in quiet repose in connection with the divine, connecting with the other side. You can see the hands clasped in prayer. This is just a beautiful card of meditation, of connection with the universe, with the other side. So take some time, quiet, silence. That's what this card wants us to do. When we pull this card, it means that the world wants us to kind of close the door and unplug and be in quiet for a while. So you need that to rejuvenate your inner peace and your soul. Every once in a while, we need to feed our headspace, but we need to feed our soul so that we get replenished and we can go on and do our work in the world. So Ash, if you can, take some quiet time for yourself. All right? We should, right, Linda, have a big gathering. 10, I thought it was 11. I don't know what we're... Clarify that for me, Gina, because I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, you're going to feel a shift in energy, especially now, because the main player planets of this year are now moving towards other areas, and that big Capricorn clump of Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto are starting to move away and pull apart now. They've been on top of each other and doing a dance all year and causing all this havoc. And now, as Jupiter and Saturn head towards Aquarius, they'll pull apart. But we have a little bit more intensity to go because Pluto and Jupiter are on top of each other right now. As Jupiter moves away from Pluto, Saturn is moving away from Pluto, then that trifecta that we've had is going to be gone. But Pluto stays in Capricorn for another few years. But the energy of Aquarius is going to come in. When the energy of an Aquarius, that's why you're feeling it, you're an air sign, exactly. Aquarius is an air sign. And when the planets start to go towards Aquarius, towards the middle of December, we start to feel a push of fresh air. Things get lighter. We're like, no longer have the monkey on our back. We're able to move for more freely. So it's really cool. You're welcome, Monica. I'm sure there's something that'll come to you. Sarah says she was getting a lot of dreams that occurred in her late aunt's beach cottage. Could that be her communicating with me? Couple of things. Definitely could be her communicating with you. I always say when we dream of a person from the other side, it's obviously their energy coming in for a reason. It could be so that they speak to us or give us a message, but it could also be that there was something about that person's energy in life that is relatory to what we're going through now in our life. So think about that as well. It could also just be them coming in to say hello. But thirdly, when we dream of a house of any kind, it's our psyche. It's our, our subconscious. When you dream of a house, the basement is your subconscious. And as you go into other levels of the house, it's your higher self. So whatever was symbolic for you about the house in the dream, try and apply that to whatever part of you it resonates with psychologically. The other part of that is, it's gatherings of 10. The other part of that is Neptune, and where it's been aspected this past week on our charts is giving us a lot of dream and dream work and dream time and working in dream time. And dreams mean a lot. And so always keep a journal by your bed and jot down your dreams. I remember when I was on the spiritual path in the beginning, I never remembered my dreams. And I would go to all these seminars and gatherings and people would be talking about their dreams. And I'd be like, well, I never remember my dreams. And I wanted to, because people were having all these beautiful messages come to them in twilight and in sleep. And so I remember setting an intention before I went to sleep at night. I started to do this for a little while. And I would just simply set an intention, please, Spirit, help me remember my dream and give me the messages in them. And I kept a little book by the side of my bed. And before long, I would wake up and start to write down the dream, only to maybe 20 minutes or a half hour later completely not remember the dream. The moral of the story is that if we have the desire to remember and we train our subconscious to remember, we can remember all our dreams and the messages of them will come out in that journal. We may conscious, when we go to the awake level of consciousness, forget it, but we'll definitely remember the dream. So try and put a journal by your bed. But if I had to go into psychically interpreting your dream, I feel like your aunt was trying to give you a message. It was a message of love. I feel like there's something in your life right now that you're trying to accomplish that your aunt also very similarly and symbolically was trying to do in her life. Now, that doesn't mean that it's a like situation, but it's a like goal. For instance, maybe somebody was trying to build something. It's not symbolic in the tangibleness of that. You're not building something. It's symbolic in the meaning of it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So, Auntie came in, showing love, almost asking you to come with her to show you something. The beach cottage was very symbolic of joyful, young life, childhood. But there's something about your aunt's life that's very parallel to yours. Again, not situationally, but meaningfully. So take that with you and think about that. And you can, talk to your aunt and call her energy in and say, please help me understand what this was. So I hope that helps you, Sarah. Okay. Oh, Christine, I thought it was Sarah that asked. Sarah did say, yeah. And Christine as well. But now, because we're in such a heightened energy of manifestation, dreams will come in and play a really important part. Really important part. All right. So I am just going to have like 4 minutes left, and I'm going to just pull a few cards. I would like, Spirit, for you to tell us the world energy and what we can expect. And please tell us where this is going, where are we headed in this beautiful universe that you have created for us. As we have a beautiful new moon in Scorpio coming in, please give us the meaning and the messages of the energy for our highest good. 3 cards. I've got the King of Cups. King of Cups is an authority figure sitting on the throne, but someone who's more emotional, more compassionate than a regular ruler. And he's upright. And to me, this is very symbolic of world leaders, but world leaders with passion. My crown chakra just got really tingly. World leaders with compassion. World leaders who are a little bit more compassionate about creating a beautiful life, a beautiful universe. So this to me is an authority figure, symbolic of world leadership, which is going to start now when the age of Aquarius comes in 2021 to really start to be more creatively compassionate about their work in the world. And then I have the Knight of Pentacles upside down. The Knight of Pentacles would be someone who comes in and really is basically mercenary. He does it for the money. And because it was upside down, I feel like that's in the past position. So I feel like what the universe is telling us right now is that this energy of the authoritarian, that energy of the old patriarch, the Capricorn energy, the earth, the dense, the stubborn, the might is right, is not in this card. This is a card of symbolism for authority that's much more feeling. It's water. It's moldable. It's mutable. It's compassionate. It's listening. And that's the way the world will be ruled now. And the old way of might is right, the mercenary coming in, is past. And then the beautiful card that I have as the outcome for this is this beautiful card of unity, family, the Ten of Cups, the rainbow, euphoria, utopia. It's love. It's even if you look at the children playing and the unity. And that's the card that was the outcome card. You heard the prayer I said when I asked for the reading. So to me, this is very symbolic of us having optimism and hope and knowing that maybe things are going to be a little bit softer, a little bit more compassionate and unified in the world. And boy, if we could all say a prayer for that before we go to sleep tonight, how powerful would that be? So thank you all for tuning in. I will be back Thursday at 6:30 on the same time, same bat channel. And hopefully I will be able to do a video in between. If you'd like a private reading, you can always contact me at zenkuda.com under services. I also have a Facebook site, Zenkuda, and Zenkuda Official on Instagram. Contact me any which way and we'll book a private reading for you. I'm doing those through Zoom and FaceTime right now. And a reading also consists of your astrological chart. So thank you so much. I hope to see you all again next week. And stay in touch and let me know how you're all doing. But this weekend will be a little bit rough coming in, but by next week we're all going to feel a lot better about a lot of things. Thank you so much. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.